just want to say a few words, but before I start, I am sure a lot of you have seen on Twitter that there is an advertisement by NCRT saying that the history books, there's some gaps, they found some gaps. And they asked for feedback as to what can be done to make changes in the history books. I would posit to you, and I would request you to treat this announcement as an advertisement by Indic Academy to let us know what are the shortcomings or the areas of our culture that have not been featured as coffee table books, because we want to plug that. The history books, they're making an attempt, but we want to do coffee table books. You might ask, why, when the whole publishing business is going through a sort of a downhill, why is it that now we have suddenly taken up this task of coffee table books? There is this Vedantic text called Drik Drishya Viveka. The discrimination between the seer and the seen. So the summary of the text is that there is an object, there are the senses, there's a mind, and there's a self. So for the objects is the seen, the seer are the senses. The senses is the seen, the seer is the mind. The mind is the seen, the seer is the Atma, the Sakshibhava. So this is how the understanding of the seer seen is explained in this text very beautifully. Now, in the case of art, as Rupert Spira also says, art, when a person sees art, the experience, there is no friction between the art, is directly touches to the Atma. So the oneness is exposed. There's no, the observer, they understands the art in such a way that he experiences the art. That is the beauty of art. Our culture is designed to be experienced as art. Please think about this. Our culture is designed to be experienced as art. Ours is an experiential culture. And today, if you go to Amazon and Google the coffee table books on our culture, the answer will expose to you. The same, the Marxist historians will visually be represented even here also. So in order for us to experience our culture, we need to, this visual, vibrant culture, we need to capture it. And it has to be captured by people who have Shraddha and who are immersed in this culture, which is what Gurpreet and Bharat are. They belong to this civilization. And they have captured this beautiful book. And I'm immensely proud, actually, when I hold this book. This is our first initiative And I'm immensely proud to have worked with them. I'm grateful to Bhagwan for and to them for giving us this opportunity to capture, because this is a journey that we have set out to. It's a very important journey. We have a vertical called Indica Pictures, where we are trying to feature filmmakers and photographers who will portray our heritage, showcase it to the global audiences, who will capture our, but who are rooted. We have just launched a photography grant. And our idea is that once the selections come in, that will turn into a number of coffee table books. Last year, we had sponsored a heritage rally. Hoysala Temple's Jay Jina, who is in the audience, his book is coming out. Rukmini Vijay Kumar's book, where she does a tour of all the temples in the south on the Shivaratri, during the Shivaratri week, that is coming as a journey. During the Ganesh Utsav, we are trying to sponsor the children, the underprivileged children, give them the cameras to capture all the Ganesh Pandals in Hyderabad and Mumbai. So it is very important that if we want to experience our culture, we need to translate it into a visual documentation. I would urge all the scholars to think about this, how to convert their scholarly books into coffee table books. Today, the tourism industry, the biggest vertical that's the highest growth rate is experiential tourism. That people want to experience the culture. They just don't want to come and see something, but they want to experience that culture. What does experience mean? They want a scholarly input. They want to see the food. Every aspect of it, they want an intellectual layer. This intellectual layer is what this book provides. Today, if anybody does a tour, the kind of thinking that will experience, they will get the experience is of a different nature. We have done a conference on yatras, and I had requested all the scholars that they should think of their scholarship in terms, not just in terms of a product, which is a book, but in terms of a course, which is a service, but in terms of taking scholars and young students on a tour wherein they explain physically. That is what Chitra Madhavan specializes in. And she has created so many scholars, so many scholars who have experienced her wisdom along with a temple in a physical format. We need more to create more Chitra Madhavans who will venture out into experience teaching. I'm sure Bharat is raring to go now and take friends who will accompany him to these temples, and Gurpreet too. So this is the reason why we believe that as a first step, this amalgamation of photographs, visual, and the writing as a first step has to start. And this is the importance of coffee table books. From here, a documentary, from here to an actual experience. This is the stage. And this is how our culture can be revived. Our culture has to be lived as an art to immerse ourselves in that art. It gives many opportunities throughout the year. And if we take these opportunities and convert them into this experience and into this art form, you will be in a transformative space. I would like to thank Sai Swarupa for editing this book. I would also like to thank all the people we reached out and asked them, please endorse this book. Everybody but very appreciative of this initiative. Vijay Kumar from Singapore, Sanjeev Sanyal, Bibek ji, Chitra ji, Shashikant ji, Meenakshi ji, so many of them They have really responded. And I was really amazed at the spontaneity with which they responded. And I'm really grateful to all of them for this. Finally, I would really like to thank Dimple for what she has done. This is Drishti. This is Drishti. You're on Twitter. You're seeing all these things. You're seeing this. You're seeing this. And then you make a connection. This is a very special gift. This is how we have created this unsung whaler from Sai Sopai. It was also a Drishti. It just came out that we were seeing what Sai has done about Kurukshetra war and the kind of calculation that she did. And the next, lo behold, there was an idea that was generated that we will, and today it's a bestseller and is going to be made into a movie too. So I request all the public intellectuals to look at these disparate things and see how we can create magic, like what Dimple has done. So with these few words, I thank once again Bharat and Gurpreet for giving Indic Academy this opportunity. I mean, really grateful to them for this wonderful book that we have been able to publish. I request all of you to please buy the book and encourage us to continue this work. Thank you. Sri Guru Namaha.